Just like this movie isn't much Iron Sky as we see in the first movie.
No, they just put the name on it.
Yeah.
We have a script here. Can we make this Iron Sky? Sure, I can spell it. This is a real shit show. This is, you know, that South Park episode where they try to brainstorm ideas. So they take acid or something and just write down everything that happens.
Cough medicine.
Exactly, and then just like put it in a movie. This is exactly how it feels.
It could also be that South Park episode, you know, where they figure out how the Family Guy episodes are written.
Exactly, just random. This in Wales or whatever it is.
Manatees that take random balls with words on them and they make stories from those words.
Exactly. So, welcome to movie time. We have been watching Iron Sky, The Coming Race. This is the sequel to Iron Sky, of course.
And those who have listened to the last episode have heard that the last movie wasn't that bad.
No, we liked it.
We liked it. All of us liked it.
I had high hopes for this one.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. Although I was a bit wary because I had never heard of the second one. I didn't even know it existed before Rubbe said that he bought it.
Yeah, same for me. I never knew it existed. But it was released in 2019, this year, this recording year, and it was directed by the same director, Timo Vuorensola. So it was set up to be able to follow its own story, I would say.
Yes, and they had a much bigger budget.
Yeah, the budget was $21 million.
So it's 3 times as big, pretty much.
Yeah, and here is a big red sign, big red flag. It cashed in only $400,000, which is $0.4 million.
Yes. So they have a loss of about $20.5 million.
And that is quite impressive.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty impressive.
It makes me wonder, is it that people never heard of it, as you, Adam?
That and that it sucks ass.
Yeah, but not everyone can know that. Not $400,000 bad.
Thing is that I saw the first one like years ago and I liked it. So if I would have heard that there was a new sequel, I might have gonna watch it on my own. But I didn't because I didn't know it existed for now.
So it might be a marketing problem. They should get higher numbers than $400,000. That makes no sense.
I bet it was people heard it was a bad movie.
But so, you know, times have changed now. These days people only watch superhero movies.
That might be the
problem.
problem.
And I bet some watched it, other people heard it was a bad movie. So people who wanted to see it downloaded it illegally instead of buying the DVDs like us honest people.
Perhaps. And it never went to the cinema, right?
I think it did.
Not in Sweden, I think.
Maybe not in Sweden, but
definitely in Finland.
In Finland and Germany, probably, because it's a Finnish-German movie.
Exactly. And there's no...
In Finland, they had 2 big movies this year. One was Endgame, one was this one.
No, the first one was The Moomin, and the second one was The Iron Sky. Let's talk a bit about the storyline, if we can.
It's a bit of a mess would be to not give it enough credit now, because it's a huge freaking mess.
We do our best.
This movie is kind of if Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams decided to do a movie together. It's a Rian Johnson movie because the follow-up from the first one, it makes no sense. And a J.J. Abrams movie because it's only things that happens that doesn't seem to have a point.
I'm gonna brainstorm a bit further and say that it's like if those two would make a movie, and before, when they were playing the movie, they would sit together and often smoke weed together and just write down any ideas they get.
Yeah. It's a real mess. But let's try to pin this out. They start out the movie from the moon base. So the movie originates from the moon right now.
It's about 30 years after the first movie.
Yeah, it's 2047, if I recall.
So it starts that we hear on the moon base of the Nazis from the first movie. the moon Nazis are living there side by side with the...
Yeah. I don't even know if they're
People.
Nazis anymore.
No.
But in the beginning, they said the moon Nazis
Yeah.
live side by side with...
Yeah, I think they were referring
The
to the old
former-
people.
former
Yeah, the
movie.
former people that lived.
Yeah.
What happened at least was that nuclear war happened on Earth and Earth got destroyed. So the few surviving people, they made it to the moon base.
Yeah.
And now those survivors and the people that were living on moon base now live side by side.
But yeah, that's a good point about the moon Nazis, because the narrator voice in the beginning said moon Nazis. But I think you're right that they are former.
Yeah, I think they
Really
were.
doesn't seem to matter anymore.
No, I think it's just referring to the old people and the new people from Earth, and they just merged together.
Yeah.
The moon base kind of look like a rundown ghetto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
It doesn't feel like people having jobs. It doesn't feel like people are to be able to eat, to get any D vitamin at all.
No, they're just sitting there doing nothing.
And,
Exactly.
The base is not shaped like a swastika anymore.
Ah,
In this movie.
kind of, right?
Not
It was-
exactly.
No, it was like a little bit, not much. But we got introduced to our first character at this point, and her name, and also the narrative in the beginning, O.B. Washington. And you can make a small guess who's that.
Yeah, she's the daughter of the two main characters from the first movie.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which is Renate and
James.
Good. Of course, they want to remove some characters, so the first thing they do is kill off James.
Yeah, he's not in the movie.
He's not in the movie.
He died before this takes
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's take killing the black guy first to a new level.
Actually,
That's an excellent point, actually.
Yes,
before the movie even started,
Exactly.
pretty much this
let's
time.
kill off the black guy.
Let's kill off the black guy in the
But maybe
backstory.
he realized that it's a shitty movie.
Might be, he might have read.
He
the
was
script.
probably the smartest person on the crew.
But
if that's the
that's
case.
a new touch of a movie. Instead of killing the black guy in the beginning, they kill the black guy in the backstory.
Exactly. And yes, of course. And her mother is Renate. But let's talk a bit about Obi. Do you think she has similarities to James or Renate in her way of acting
Not-
or dealing with
Not
problems?
to James at all, at least.
Thing about her is that to me she feels like a very modern day thing, because I think they try to make a strong female lead that's also a minority.
Yeah, but also she's very bland. She doesn't bring anything to the story.
She is like
goes
the
along.
archetype of a Mary Sue. It's like
Yeah, she feels like a safe character.
yeah.
If you don't want someone to be hated or loved in a way, like you want a character that it works in every situation. She's not over the top black as James was in the last movie, for instance. She's pretty cool, but she's not overdoing it.
Yeah,
It's just
but-
annoying that when she tries to do something, she always succeeds, even if the odds are against her.
And
Yeah,
about her, you can pretty much think about it. If you want to make a typical strong female main character, that's her. No other personality traits, pretty much.
Yeah, that's her whole personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And moving on in the story, a UFO or a German-built ship
A German-built ship with
Russian adjustments.
yes.
Yes.
A space vehicle of some
Some sort of space vehicle that arrives to the station, and it comes from planet Earth, and it crashes into the station. It feels like, and Obi's saving them because she's a good guy, you know.
Yeah, she's a strong character, but she's
Yeah.
good.
It's really funny that she saves them, because the funny thing is that after the land and they walk out of the spaceship, she says, "No, you can't be here because there's no food for you. There's no resources
That's
for
actually
you."
her mom that says
That's
that.
her mother thing.
Ah, okay, damn it. But still, it's the apple doesn't fall from a tree. It's like they were thinking the same.
And it went really quick from they said that until they started to help the Russians.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
just that she said that, and then immediately they decided, oh, let's help them anyway.
Speaking of Russian, here is introduced to a new character, and his name is
Sasha, something?
Sasha, and he's the Russian guy. We're going to refer to him as the Russian guy because it's funny.
That's his personality.
Yeah, and he is a bit same as Obi. He's technical. He's supposed to be the comic relief, and he is, for me, the best character.
For me too.
For me too, actually, because he's actually really funny sometimes.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be the comical relief, and sometimes he's a bit stereotypical for that, but he nails the joke sometimes.
He has a running gag throughout the movie where he has some sort of complex towards another character that is not that strong or good looking or...
Yeah, he feels like he's not been taken seriously.
No. And he brings that up a couple of times, and it kind of works.
Yeah.
We also have this. Wait, we should move on with the story, right?
Yeah.
They are aware of that there's not enough resources on the station, and also her mother is sick, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem, right?
I guess.
One of the problems.
Yeah, Obi's mother is sick, and that's Renata from the
first movie,
yeah. And she's old.
Yeah.
Like, she's probably dying of age.
Yeah, like 60, 70.
And then Obi runs into the Moon Führer, as we're referring to.
Before that, we should also mention the Apple cult.
Yeah, I'm getting to that, but I'm just going to...
Yeah, but this happened before they met the Moonfield.
Yeah, I know, but...
we can take the Moon Führer first.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
I think.
Yeah. So she gets introduced to the Moon Führer, who died in the first movie, we thought. We never get an explanation to why.
No, apparently he didn't die.
He didn't die.
He's an alien.
I thought you died, but you didn't die. Okay, let's move on. That's
We're just supposed to accept that.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. It's fine because the script said so.
Yeah, I guess.
She or he is telling her that there is some sort of candy that can save you, make you younger or fresh. It doesn't seem to make him younger, but it makes Renata younger.
Maybe it's because he's not human.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and this candy bar is working on her, and that's pretty much the reason for them to get to Earth. But, as Adam said, there are also other characters which are in some sort of cult.
Yeah.
Which also seem very random.
Yeah, they have a Steve Jobs cult.
And they call the religion Jobism or Jobsism.
Yeah, Jobsism or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be funny, but I don't know. I didn't like it either. So.
Especially since it's a bit extreme that they apparently killed their members that hacked their iPhones.
Yeah.
Yeah, jailbreaked it.
Yeah.
It feels like they made the joke a bit too long. They spent a lot of time in that cult room explaining or...
They would have been funny as like a side thing for one scene and then never appear again.
Yeah, exactly. Like something you mentioned because of the randomness or something. Or a future thing. But they take this very long. And it doesn't really help the movie at all.
No,
it only gives us 3 more characters.
I thought after that happened there would be some sort of follow-up in the scenes after that. But no, it was that.
Yeah, but it's only because they meet one character later that it's supposed to be more fun, I guess.
Yeah, but I thought they would develop that afterwards, but they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, okay, so here we meet the 3 characters. We don't even mention the 2. I don't think they have a line in the movie.
No, just some throwaway line.
Yeah. But there is one guy who's supposed to be the prophet, I think.
Yeah.
Towards Steve Jobs then. And all these 3 characters plus the bald guy. Have we introduced the bald guy? No, it comes to him right now. Ignore the bald guy. So Obi, the Russian guy, Donald, the cult leader, and his 2 minions.
3 minions, actually.
3 minions are heading to Earth in order to find the source of this candy bar that can make you young.
But I don't really get why they're supposed to go and get it. What does it help?
Yeah, well, it keeps you younger, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that since there are not that big of population, that they want to keep them alive.
I guess.
And apparently it could be used to power up their spaceship so they could leave the wrecked base.
Right. So it was for energy and life, I think.
So I wonder what happened to the helium-3 in the first movie that gave so much energy.
I guess it disappeared.
Yeah, everyone died because of it, so it should still be on the moon, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
No
there
one-
was so much, so since this is 2047, there should still be.
And
something.
it's never mentioned.
Not at
Helium
all.
3 is never mentioned, which
No.
is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I think there's too little of references to the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, the people like the first one. Why not just keep building on that?
Helium-3 was such a big part of the first one, so...
I mean, it could have been like the plot of this one.
yeah.
I really don't understand why they made this Iron Sky 2, because if they want to make this movie, they could have just like made brand new with this plot and call it something else.
Just call it the subtitle, The Coming Race.
Yeah, because it honestly doesn't have much to do with the first one.
No, it's the Nazi space station and then the kid of
There's
the
also-
main characters in the first.
Yeah, there's some things that are forced in this
But,
movie.
that's pretty much it, I'd say.
But let's move on. So, when they want to get to the ship, in order for them to get to Earth, they need to pass our last character. Last character in a way I was talking about, because there was other characters later on, but there is the bald guy. His name is Malcolm, and he kind of reminds me of a Drax personality. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's
Drax,
a big muscular
He's a
guy.
muscle guy. He's not that stupid as Drax.
No, he's...
but he's not as likable either.
No, he's quite bland too.
Yeah, he is.
Because there's no reference that he's supposed to be a stupid character, so he's not like that.
And I don't think he's contributing to the story. So I only think that he is in the movie for it to create some sort of
Love triangle.
love triangle drama between Obi and the
Himself.
bald guy and the Russian guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy and he's a strong guy. Those
And-
like his only two traits.
exactly.
And he doesn't have much of any interesting personality traits either as
No.
a character.
He's just in the movie for some reason. Let's say reasons.
Yeah.
So they enter the ship and they go to Earth. And here is the interesting part. They are going to travel through the Antarctica, right?
Yes.
And down and hit the middle of Earth.
Somehow they get to the middle of the Earth.
Yeah, I don't get how far down. Is it like by the core? Or
I
is-
think literally in the middle.
yeah, I thought like the glowing thing that was supposed to be the sun in the middle of Earth was the core,
So I
but
guess,
it broke later on. So
So I guess in this movie the core of the Earth is not hot and
exactly,
magma. It's
so
other
it's
stuff.
beautiful down there. Yeah, they enter it in some randomness instead of actually going through the gates.
They crash land and end up on the exact right spot.
Exactly, which of course is super lucky.
And annoying.
And annoying, yeah. I always dislike that kind of script writing that everything just happened by luck. I mean, Earth is so big, and they have like a small clue where they're going, but for some reason they hit like the perfect
Yeah,
spot.
it's much more enjoyable when they actually figure stuff out.
Exactly, because it gives like the movie a purpose or the characters a purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So they land on this Middle Earth,
Yeah,
core Earth.
the core of the Earth, we can call it, I think.
Middle Earth.
It was called something. Argus?
Yeah, they call-
Argus?
Let's just call it the Earth core.
Yeah,
They land at the Earth core and there is
Argatha or something? Whatever.
it
a
was
orgasm.
Yeah, orgasm.
almost.
They land at the orgasm and they look out over the nature and it's beautiful. It's like, where the dinosaur used to live. It's like that old.
Yeah,
I almost don't want to do it, but maybe we should actually describe the plot that got described about the aliens and such, like where they came from and what they have been doing.
Yeah, if you can explain it, go ahead. I didn't get that.
please.
It seemed random. Did it come from the moon?
what happened was that apparently this race of aliens came and crashed into Earth back in the dinosaur age.
Yeah.
And then they lived on the Earth, and one of them, who is also a Moonfyrer, he started researching monkeys and he gave 2 monkeys an apple infused with this energy that they now on the quest find, and that allowed them to evolve into humans. They were Adam and Eve, and from them came all the humans.
And actually, in the movie, he even called the monkeys Adam and Eve. No joking.
So,
and apparently these aliens transform over time into humans.
Yeah,
why?
I don't know.
And he had his whole story because
he,
this happened after they noticed or heard that there were dinosaurs there back then.
They show...
And,
sorry if you want to...
And that guy, he told the whole story that while the others were interested in the dinosaurs and cool creatures, he was interested in the smaller and the primates. And then happened what Adam said.
Yeah, and also they show a clip where the aliens crash on Earth. They go outside of their spaceship, and then they remove their helmets. And you see their alien faces kind of morph half into human faces as soon as they like breathe the air or something.
Which is weird.
Yes.
Because the humans in this story evolved from the primates, where he gave them the fruit that was, injected with this viria, whatever.
I think it's
viria.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and the monkeys became humans, and they look like humans do. And these aliens, they breathe air and also kind of look like look like humans. So did they also evolve from primates in the same way?
We never got to know that, I think.
Now that's the problem with this movie. We don't really get to know anything. It just, the script said it's like this, so it's like that.
This movie is a mess. There are so many questions you can ask yourself.
It was a humanoid that actually gave the apple to the primates. Those humanoids gotta have come from somewhere also. It's a mess. We don't know.
But also, a lot of famous people are actually, turns out to be these aliens.
From what I gathered, they want to wipe out the humans so they can have the planet to themselves.
Yes,
because
they try to manipulate the humans into destroying each other.
Because the guy who created the humans, the Moonfyrer, he was some kind of pariah to the alien race. So he liked humans, the others did not. So the others did what they could, try to wipe the humans out.
And this is a clear reference to that whole famous lizard people conspiracy theory I'm talking about, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since it turns out that Mark Zuckerberg also was one.
Exactly. But he is a alien, right?
Yeah, I know.
But,
we know that he is one for sure.
But the weird thing is, like, a few of them still look human. But like Stalin, for example, he had like huge alien shoulders that doesn't look human at all. Why do some of them look really warped and some of them look like normal people?
Maybe it's a choice.
Could be a choice. Maybe it's plastic surgery.
Fashion statement.
Yeah, maybe it is. We don't get an explanation for it, really.
But we should leave this rabbit hole because
we will never get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the rest of the movie can be summarized in a few sentences.
Yeah, but okay, so they hide this ship that they came also in some sort of mountain. But that was years ago. In present day, they find the dinosaurs, right? Was it like a village they enter?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I would call it a village.
Yeah, it was a village. It was like guarding dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, it looked very...
You're never find out how many there are, because Moonfyrer actually called this a city. So that's there's actually quite a lot of people.
Yeah. It looked kind of old-fashioned, like these villages with like...
the Maya people thing?
Yeah, kind of like that. It doesn't look like hyper modern or anything.
It certainly wasn't high-tech, no. It was very basic.
And here was a stupid scene, because they get attacked by dinosaurs, and this bald guy, Malcolm, he gets bit in his head, like really hard, and there's no scratching, and he survives that.
Yeah, and we were like, oh my god, he died.
Yeah, we were happy about that.
But he didn't.
No, so we were sad about that.
Yeah, we were happy for a while at least.
Like 1 minute before he realized he wasn't dead.
Yeah, and here the movie kind of lost me because what the hell has happened? They show this short sequence of all the world leaders sitting at the table, like
The Last Supper
the
painting.
Last Supper painting with Jesus and all, and they talk about stuff. And here Hitler shows up.
Yeah, because he is one of the main aliens, I guess.
And I gotta say, I have seen a lot of Hitlers throughout the years, but he is the worst one.
Yeah,
Therefore, he had no personality like Hitler would.
no, it's the same actor that plays the Moon Fuhrer because they're supposed to be twin brothers.
Yeah, but he was a crappy Hitler.
I know, but it's the same actor that plays them.
Hitler is very expressive and he talks German, for instance.
Yeah, here's I think
Loud.
when they created this character in this movie, they thought, okay, we know this about Hitler. He's German, he's evil. Let's make that.
And
nothing
he's
more.
supposed to be like crazy, like
Eccentric.
yeah, at least.
Well, maybe.
He seems very calm in this movie.
Yeah, maybe Hitler was eccentric for real, but he was a smart man, charismatic. He was not like this.
Maybe
I
it's
don't-
like it's the 2047 that he matured.
Yeah, but the difference between crazy and eccentric is just money.
Zzz. Yeah, so he has no money now.
But,
He has no power, but he wants the power, I think.
Because if you act weird and you're poor, you're crazy, and if you act weird and you're rich,
And this I
you're
didn't get,
eccentric.
because he wants to get to the moon base where all the Nazis used to be. Why?
Because he is there, the traitor. The moon
His
female.
brother. His brother.
So he wants to go to the moon just to kill his brother.
Yeah.
yeah.
But also,
Doesn't that seems like
also the others
overkill?
stole the Holy Grail.
They did take the Holy Grail, right?
Yeah, so he wanted it back.
Yeah, fast forward. They succeed with the mission they came to, of course, do, and they steal the
I
Holy
barely
Grail.
remember that scene.
Yeah.
It was so quick, it just... Then it's done.
That's exactly what I mean when I said she's Mary Sue. She's like, okay, kind of walks in and takes it, and no one's able to stop her somehow.
And yeah, this was weird. This movie completely lost me. That there were dinosaurs and stuff and Hitler, and then there's the Holy Grail suddenly also.
Yeah.
And I
They put
don't know.
in a lot of things that we're supposed to know and, of course, find funny or, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But it's just too much. Like, choose one thing and stick with it.
Yeah. You're just making a mess.
Yeah.
They
But,
could have gone with only Hitler or only the Holy Grail, I think.
yeah.
But
Also, why have, like, two villains? Why have Hitler and Moon Fuhrer, whose name we can't remember? Why not just go with Hitler? Why do you need the second one?
yeah,
If you want him to be a plot device, use someone else. You don't have to have him in this movie. He
Yeah.
died in the first one. We can accept that. He wasn't that great that we wanted him in the second one.
And-
It's a crappy reference to the first one.
And yeah, this rarely works. It's good you mentioned that. That the two main villains just don't work. In a movie, you can have one main villain and several side villains.
Yeah.
But here they try to really have two main villains
Yeah.
at the same time.
Because when he goes to the moon later on, Hitler and the other guys from the original base, he kind of enters the moon base in the most ridiculous way ever. It's like, what is it? Riding a T-Rex?
Yes.
And
When he enters the base, he says, Sieg Heil Mutter Flickers.
Yeah, I know, and it's supposed to be funny. The only thing I can think of when I see in the scene is that they stole this from Kung Fury. And I know someone have seen it, I know you guys haven't, but this is a total rip-off. This is... If you see the movie, see Kung Fury, it's awesome. You will see what I mean.
See whatever else except this.
But do we even know how the hell he managed to tame Tyrannosaurus Rex at
No.
all?
Well, it was kind of suggested when Moonfield told, like, the history's people that he himself was fascinated by the primates and the others were fascinated by the bigger animals like dinosaurs. So, I guess over the years, because that they figured out a way to tame them and breed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way, Hitler, which I thought was the main guy, gets killed off. Like
Yeah.
right away. By another side character. whom we didn't give a F about. Renate from the first movie.
And she does it by...
Drop kicking.
Yeah, she does a karate kick on the dinosaur.
Yeah, on the nose.
And and it falls down. And the funny thing here is that a few scenes before we can see two guys with rifles shooting the T-Rex, and it doesn't even react to that.
No, and she just kicks it on the shin and it's dead.
Yeah, and right after Hitler gets hit by a ventilation system or something, and he dies.
Yeah, but also the T-Rex is running towards her in high speed, and she is running towards him or the T-Rex, and then she jumps up and kicks it in the shin, and it flies up in the air.
To
and
be
hits the
fair, she
ceiling.
did drink from the Holy Grail for this, so
my God,
someone
who
might
cares?
argue that she got superpowers
Yeah,
for
but
that.
so she has superpowers after that.
So-
For how long?
I don't know.
Because she ate it before.
I think that's what they're trying to say, but I'm not buying it
how
either.
tall
but-
is a T-Rex?
I don't know.
It's like 5 meters.
I'm not sure, but in the movie it seemed like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really tall anyway.
Yeah.
That's not. I thought the dumbest thing was that Hitler gets killed off by
Yeah,
this.
because Hitler slams the ceiling with the T-Rex, then he falls down. He's not dead. He talks to Renate and calls her a bitch, basically.
Yeah.
And then a thing in the ceiling comes loose and falls down and squishes him.
Yeah, and now Hitler's dead.
Yeah.
Why kill him off? And then we keep on going with the other villain, the Moonführer, whose name we can't remember.
Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Kirschkors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
We can't use his name now because
Let's just call him Moonfever.
yeah, whose name we can't remember. And now he's the main villain.
Again.
This has to be the dumbest decision ever. Why do you want to use a villain that nobody knows about just because he was in the first movie? Why not use Hitler, who is like this well-known villain, like a real villain for real?
Well, the Moonführer shoots Renate anyways.
Yeah, she's dead now.
Yeah, now she's dead, and the others escape in their one ship. That they power up with the Holy Grail.
Yeah, they plugged in the Holy Grail to give it powers. Now they can all
Yeah.
escape on that.
Exactly. So they escape, and this Moonführer, he follows them.
With the alien ship that
Yeah.
crashed into the moon.
And now they use this Nokia 3310 to hack into an iPhone.
Yeah.
That he is controlling, and it blows his ship up.
Yeah, and now he's also
They booted that command that you were shown earlier about iPhones, that if it has been jailbreak, then you can run that command to make the iPhone explode along with the person holding it.
Yeah. So, that's the movie, it's over.
Yeah, now they're just drifting in space, trying to get to Mars.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why not just go to the center of the Earth?
because the rest of the aliens are there. I guess.
Yeah.
But Mars is a freaking rock with nothing on.
So
not
it's
even a
the moon.
base. Yeah, but there's a base on Moon, or there was. There's nothing.
But if they
on
can
Mars.
build a base on the moon, they can build a base on Mars.
Well,
What?
maybe they want to hype it up
With
for
their magic Holy Grail.
Maybe they wanted to hype it up for a third movie because they didn't know how much this would.
I hope there's a third movie.
Oh, and there was this SJW thing that they had with a big bald guy. Apparently, he was gay all along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is gay, allergic to gluten,
Peanuts.
and shellfish.
Yeah.
We got
And
all that
wheat.
information like in one sentence.
Yeah.
Like it matters.
First, what was the Russian guy's name?
Sasha.
Sasha, yeah.
Yeah. He talks to the bald guy about how he thought the girl liked the bald guy. And the bald guy is like, I don't know what he said, but it was pretty much, no, I like dudes. And then he slapped the guy on the
He said
butt.
like he likes them oily
And then he
monkeys.
ate food, and it was like, wait, are there peanuts in this? Or shellfish?
Yeah,
Shellfish
and then
or
he-
wheat?
Then he collapsed.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
dies. We thought.
Yeah.
We thought he died again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is also so unnecessary.
Yes.
Why put this in the movie?
Why do they have to show that he's gay?
Yeah, but why not just end the movie? Why try to, like... Is it like that you want to connect the dots that, okay, the Russian guy and Obi is getting together? Is that what he wants to do? And therefore they must show that he's gay and also allergic to gluten.
And the allergy thing, why? What that's supposed to be?
Yeah, and he didn't even die. They didn't even give us that.
No.
No, they put him in a coffin and tried to send him out to space, but then he woke up.
Yeah, said that he used to die like 20 times.
Yeah, when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, so this effing movie is finally over. And
what about effects and stuff?
I mean, we can talk about the effects. I just find this movie's storyline to be like the main problem.
The story is horrible.
Because, okay, let's mention the CGI, and we can talk about the costumes and the acting and the camera work. There's nothing wrong with that.
I just think the aliens look stupid.
The aliens look stupid. The CGI, you can tell that most of the budget was put on the CGI.
The special effects. I'm actually really impressed how they made the dinosaurs. They look pretty real. How they move and everything.
Yeah.
So they probably put way too much money into that.
Yeah, and as Adam said, some of the effects in the movie and some of the storylines kind of reminded us about the Super Mario movie.
It does. It's very interesting to look at Contra Super Mario movie because it's very, very similar, especially the dinosaur theme.
Yeah, and
that it's a mess.
Yeah, exactly.
But also the dinosaur connection and stuff.
And that they like go to this, shall say, alternate world, and turns out that another kind of people is living there.
Yeah.
And
the props, the actual props, that's not CGI. The actual props in this movie looks like they're taken from an 80s movie. They don't look that good.
But maybe that was like on purpose because it's like old technology, and they want to use like things that look old or look kind of, you know.
Yeah, but you can tell that
graphic.
It's like it's supposed to look like a log, but it's plastic and hollow and easy to lift. You can see that on
okay, you can see that it's fake. That's what I mean. Okay, I didn't really think about that. I was too focused on
you
what
were
was
too
going on.
focused on drinking, forget the movie.
Exactly. I did drink a bit. The acting, I gotta say, not a problem.
Nah.
I mean, I say Hitler is not a real Hitler, but otherwise, I think the acting is fine.
I think this movie's acting is way worse than the first movie.
Actually, I think the acting sucks for everyone, but since the plot and everything is worse, we get the illusion that the acting is fine.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I had no problem with the acting at all.
It was way more cringe in this than the first movie.
Yeah, but I blame that mostly on the script.
I think that of all the characters, the bald guy might be the one that's a bit too cringe, perhaps. But you know, I didn't even think that he belonged in the movie in the first place, and I'm barely counting him. But otherwise, I think Obi is a bland character, but I think she's doing a good job, and the Russian guy is funny. And the villains, I mean, it's one too many, but I think besides Hitler, it's okay.
Yeah, that's true. The Russian guy, he's decent. I like that guy.
I wonder if he has a good accent, if a Russian would agree on that. Yeah, doesn't matter. Okay, so let's talk about why this movie is hard to follow.
As we mentioned, it's too much in a short time. There's Hitler, and then there's another main villain, and then there's dinosaurs and aliens
and holy grails.
And primates, and it's a mess.
And moon space base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they try to like create a complex world. I think that there's so much to dive into.
Yeah, but the thing is, they show us and tell us about a lot of new different things, but they don't give any context to any of it, so it just feels like they just slapped everything in there. Because you can't comprehend why stuff happens, because they don't explain anything. They just say it's like this and you have to accept it.
It's like you said, the first movie was kind of like some kind of cool cyberpunk movie. Not overly realistic, but still. And then
realistic enough.
Realistic enough. And then comes this one, and it's like comes completely out of nowhere with aliens that live in the core of the earth and have done, and they have been all the most powerful leaders on earth, and all of that just comes like woof out of nowhere, all at once.
And a weird candy bar that gives life
and youth.
Yeah.
And they created humans, and oh my god.
Yeah, it was a lot in 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
They should have just kept the story cleaner. Like,
Simpler.
less is more in this case.
I feel like they would have gained a lot more if they stuck to the original theme of the first movie.
Why change it this much?
I
It's
have
like
no idea.
completely different.
It makes no sense how I think let's go from the first movie to this movie, even though they have like nothing in common.
We can count the references. The references are 2 characters and the moon base. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like a completely different movie.
Yeah.
But it feels like, the first movie is Star Wars and the second movie is Lord of the Rings. It's like 2 different things.
It's like when we talk about the Super Mario movie also, that you could easily like have replaced the characters and it would no longer be a Super Mario movie because it's not my Super Mario. Just like this movie isn't much Iron Sky as we see in the first movie.
No, they just put the name on it.
Yeah.
We have a script here. Can we make this Iron Sky? Sure, I can spell it. It seems like that. But okay, let's rate it. Who wants to start?
I can start this time. This will be easy because basically everything is bad, as we had said. But since some of the special effects, like the dinosaurs, are pretty well made, I will actually be generous enough to give it 2 out of 10.
Yeah. I gotta say that we have talked about it, but I think the budget says it at all. It costs so much and they earn so little. It's just a mess. It's just like stuff happening all over. While something has happened, you try to grasp it, but then something else is happening and you need to like focus on that. There's no conversations that make you be able to rest or just think about what you just saw or anything like that. They just keep throwing stuff at you and try to make the movie good in that sense. So I have no problems at all with the camera or the acting, costumes or anything like that. It didn't strike my mind. The only thing was the story was a effing mess. So, but it's hard to give it such a low grade because of that. So I'm just going to give it a 4 out of 10 actually.
Well, I thought it was way worse than the first movie. It's completely different, and the things that it tried to call back to didn't really work. The acting was kind of cringe in my eyes, most of it actually, even though some characters were more cringe than others. And the story was a mess, as you said. They just tried to put too many things in at once and nothing made sense. And the CGI was pretty good for the most part, especially the dinosaurs. But I'll just stick with 2 out of 10.
I think it's a really pretty movie, at least with the CGI and such, but considering the budget they had, that's not very impressive. So yeah, I don't have much other positive things to say about it. No, they try to add way too much and it just backfired completely. So I'll give it 3 out of 10.
Yeah, there you have it. We recommended the first one. Are we recommending this?
No.
Oh, hell no.
Nope.
Watch the first one and leave it at that.
Exactly. There's a reason no one is watching this.
Yes.
With that said, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.